What's the best car in the world? It's a difficult question really, because you could take it from any number of angles. What's the best luxury car in the world? What's the best sports car, supercar? Or even, what's the best car to live with every day? It's been said a number of times about the E39 BMW. So we thought it was only fair to take it to one of England's best roads to find out what it's all about. It is every inch the classic BMW. Of course, this one's the 5 Series. That makes it in the middle of the range. It's got a straight 6 petrol engine that sends power to the rear wheels, this time with a manual gearbox. It weighs just over 1,500 kilos, so it does 0 to 60 in just under 7 seconds, and it will nearly top 150 miles an hour. But first, let's go through some of the design. As I say, it's classically BMW. You can see that immediately with the front. It's got those twin headlights, this time behind covers, and reasonably sized kidney grills. Going down the side of the car, it's very neatly designed. It's got that sharp crease all along the sides that even incorporates those very elegant door handles. My favourite part of the car is possibly the C-pillar. It just seems to mould into the rear panel there and just screams rear-wheel drive. It's a beautifully proportioned car, and it's still good on the inside too. And that sense of proportion really strikes you immediately on the inside. Everything just seems to be just so. The binnacle lines up with the steering wheel. The centre stack, it's angled towards you of course, just the right size. The whole thing is trimmed very nicely indeed. It's very high quality, from the dashtop vinyl plasticky stuff to the veneer wood and the leather. The seats, and the seats are superb. These are the standard ones. You could of course get comfort and the sports seats, but these themselves are already very good. Full adjustability, same with the steering wheel, and you can get a fantastic driving position. In the back, well, because this E39 is much bigger than the E34, there's a lot more rear legroom. And it does beg the question, do you need the 7 Series? So whether you're being chauffeured in the back or you're the driver in front, it's super comfortable. The driver, well, he's the lucky one. He gets crisp BMW dials, good armrests, little place for your left foot. You could sit here for miles. The only complaint really is that the cup holders have a propensity for braking. This one remains on 3. And well, the climate control doesn't go to low, it just goes to 16 Celsius. But complaints this minor, well, they're telling, aren't they, of how good the interior is. So first impressions are that this is a supremely refined car. It's very quiet and rides really well too. But before I go into the driving a little bit more, first some context. This is a 528i, which is an early one, manual, and it's got the M Sport suspension pack. In Glacier Green, it's pretty much that same kind of press car that everyone raved about when it first came out in '96. It is an impressive bit of engineering because it replaced the E34, but with not much added weight. And when you consider that the structure is 80% stronger for torsional rigidity and apparently 40% more bending resistance. Now you do feel that in the ride quality. Bump thump is just almost non-existent, and secondary ride, hugely impressive. With that tall 5th gear, 25 miles an hour every 1,000 RPM, it's the consummate cruiser. And on a bumpy country road like this, oh, we're sitting at 55, it's very quiet, very relaxed. And yet you have lovely feel through the controls, nice gear change, and a sense of accuracy to the whole thing. Now some more details on what the 528i gives you. Well, you've got a 2.8 litre straight six up front, 24 valves, all the sophisticated accoutrements that you'd expect, and it's a good engine. It hits its hardest above 4. It makes peak torque of 207 foot-pounds just under 4, and it makes its peak power of 191 brake horsepower at 5.3. And here we go, second gear. It's a fine engine, and it's smooth. You don't feel bad about leaving it high up in the rev range. Right, the handling, yeah. 50-50 weight distribution, of course. And rack and pinion steering. The 6 cylinders get that, whereas the V8s get recirculating ball. But the really clever thing, traction control, about the E39 is its aluminium suspension. That saves something like 50 kilos. So while it's fairly traditional BMW McPherson struts and multi-link rear, at the front particularly, it's got these clever aluminium control arms, 2 on either side, that control lateral movement. Well, in fact, they're diagonal, so they're controlling all sorts of movement. And that means that there's lower unsprung weight. In fact, the 6 cylinders too have aluminium front subframes and brake calipers, so there's even more of a saving there. And while we're on the topic of brakes, they are good, just under 300mm front and rear, vented of course, and ABS and all that. There we go, heel and towing, well, yeah, very nice indeed. The steering rack is 3 turns lock to lock, so all in all you have a car that really disguises its weight and sings all the way to 6,250 red line. And you can do all of this, you can enjoy all of this at reasonably low speeds. You know, with an M5, well, you would be pushing the boundaries of your license, wouldn't you? No, there's enjoyment to be had here with the 528i. Of course, the 530i has that little bit more power, doesn't it? And that's often the one that people want. A criticism that I would level at the 528i is that, as much as it's a fine engine, you don't really hear it maybe as much as you'd like. It's too refined. Especially kind of above 5 grand, you expect there to be theatre, you expect there to be a 6-cylinder zing, but it doesn't really ever come. It's something you would need an older BMW for, I think. Make no mistake, it's not a sports car through and through with 4 doors. It is a highly refined saloon car with some sports car elements, the feel through the steering and the controls, a level of composure and body roll that really defies logic at times. It's a thoroughly enjoyable car to drive fast, and a thoroughly enjoyable car to cruise for miles and miles. And living with it too, well, I've mentioned it's very comfortable. So we approach this car perfection. Is it the best car in the world? Well, luxury car. It has a lot of those bases covered, doesn't it? Sports car. Not quite, you know, it's not a Porsche 911 or anything like that, but it's got enough engagement to excite you on a good road like this. And then living with, yeah, comfortable. It's got all the amenities. The only complaint is that the wipers go the wrong way round. But hey, whoever said the best car in the world had to be perfect? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you want to see more, well, subscribe. If you want to see the video of this road, well, check out our roads video that will be coming soon. But in the meantime, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you soon.